These things with their wings are AIDS as fuck. Their wings, sometimes I think their wings are fucking their hands, and it's just, ugh. And we'll just rush you. Dead. I'll kill this one just in case he's the one that fucking...
I was about to say, how the fuck am I still alive?
We need to flip their spawns. We're not doing good on that side.
Oh, yeah.
We're at A.
Okay, straight line it.
Call.
Are you pretending to be a fucking bird?
Does anybody know Demigod 5150?
Demigod.
Oh, the name sounds familiar.
He's on Steam.
Oh, I know. What is it? Divide's got a few people added on the Steam side.
Alright, I'll prove him.
Yeah, it was that bird from the other side that fucking came around, wasn't it? Hey. Okay, I don't trust this little edging. Yeah.
You captured Zone C. Zone advantage is yours.
Be wary of Fatty. Ah.
Oh no.
There. Oh shit.
Dead.
Relish this time. You're closing the
Oh.
gap. Hammer them.
What the fuck are you doing?
A surge of power.
Forward to the hunt.
5 minutes.
Oh, he's
Another
quite
hunter
tanky.
will come soon.
Ah, dead. Goodbye.
Opponent claims
Butcher knife.
Zone C captured.
Friend ahead. Alright. Good to know. Oh, damn. Roxanne. Oh.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on a red light.
Oh, that thing had me scared. Oh.
Zone A captured.
Oh, that fucking gave me the fucking frights, bro. That
Who are
fucking
you?
bird. No, the bird moving, me making the bird move. I thought it was coming out of the ground and I went, oh, fuck me. I was not ready for that. These birds are like gonna give me nightmares, Dustin.
Zone B lost.
Alright, just making sure it's
Straight line, oh, straight line. You are not popping your wings.
Oh, you're dead though. You're dead. Oh. Ah.
Finally.
Let's got it done?
Yep.
What's the shotgun gang?
Is that what the next step is? Is shotguns?
Should be. Not
Try
a
a
take
ranged battle. I think I see what you mean there, Dusty.
Wait, I think you're at the part, yeah. Well, no, so if you're, yeah, okay, right where you are, I fucking run up the side, past the ones on the side. You gotta get to the top of that little hill and just get up to where that dude is and kill that guy. Like,
You know,
you can just run past all of them. You can worry about the other guys later.
Ready? I've got a really sick idea, Dustin. You ready for this one?
How the fuck did you take so long to kill me, dude?
Okay, let's get the aiming on point, eh?
Oh shit, what's up, Gomp?
My
What is
hero!
What's up, dude?
What it do?
Woulda, had it, woulda, had it.
Oh my goodness.
Guess what, comp?
What's up, buddy?
Zone A
Raw made magic.
Oh, Raw, you made magic, right? Dang.
You did? Aw, that's...
Who knew? Who fucking knew?
Damn,
Dustin,
dude.
do you like
I
my
see
way of
that.
handling?
Hey, Dustin, you want to hop into a chat real quick, and I can help you out?
Well, I mean, you talking about for
Yep.
the thing? I mean, I have to like go into some detail with you about it, just real quick. I just see what you think. 'Cause I don't know if you'd be down to like help me. I could like make copies of them and send them to you, but
Well, and before we go into it, I mean, just remember, everything you're saying is for public consumption at this point. So if you don't want to say something, we can do it another day.
No. It doesn't matter. No, it's for that. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm
I
backing out.
am
Grim.
streaming,
You can
by
join.
the way.
No, I'm not saying anything
To
bad.
2 people, boss man. No one fucking cares. God.
No, but what... If you don't mind me asking, what are you guys
Oh
talking about?
shit, they've come
Well, I'm
in.
about to talk about it.
Yeah.
So basically, my dad and my stepmom both have a will made. They're pretty
Right.
similar to each other, like quite similar to each other. But basically, he needs some revisions done. One of the big revisions is a lot of things in there are being like left to his daughter, his basically my stepsister, my stepbrother, and me. But they're both dead.
Yeah.
So I need some revisions
Okay.
there, and then there's also some revisions because it's like a 4-step part of the will. The first step is like when either of them die, everything like their deaths and their funerals taken care of. Step 2 is if my dad dies before my stepmom, she gets everything on hers. If he dies before her, he gets everything. Yada yada yada. Like step 3 is if they were to die at the same time, then everything reverts to the kids, aka me. But obviously I got to have that edited, and then like. Everything's pretty legit. Here's the thing. What my dad wants changed is this. Right now, if he dies, everything goes to Marty. And after Marty dies, everything goes to me and Marty's daughter. Not my dad's daughter. But my dad does not want the house to be in a situation where... Because you know how it is when parents leave multiple kids the house. Like either they don't want to pay for it, or they got to pay each other, or whatever.
Right.
So he wants the house left to me. Period.
Okay. All right.
And the problem is now, if he dies and my stepmom is still alive, I don't get it because she's still living there. So the house will revert to her. However, when she dies, and respectively, it'll probably be my dad first and then her, everything that was my dad's, the house, his property, his tools, everything that was his will go to me.
Correct.
Everything financially of my stepmother's, her money, her accounts, her savings, everything like that will go to her daughter. And there's a few stipulations he wants to do, but basically that's how he wants to get it reworded, is that when he dies, everything goes to her, but after her death, the house and the property and his personal belongings would then go into me.
Okay.
And I don't really know how to rewrite all that, so like I already have his old one, but I figured I could scan it, send it over to you if you needed to like cross things out or like write things I need to like retype it up as, and then kind of go from there.
So basically, that's fine. If you would like to do that, I'd be more than happy to look at it. But at first glance, it's actually not his will that needs to change. It's her will. Because if everything is transferred to her at some point, his will ceases to exist after it's been dispersed. So in other words, if his will is written like the house, is hers and stuff like that, blah, 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 whatever, the only way that his could technically be rewritten, which would also make it somewhat more difficult, is that when upon his death, the property goes to his wife, but then after her death, it goes to you. What's easiest to do is actually have her to rewrite her will, where it states that instead. Because since property has already transferred to another owner, unless her will is written like that, it kind of doesn't matter what his will says anymore.
Right. No, I have both of their wills.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm saying is, like, his will may not necessarily need adjustment. It might be her will. Because like I said, if the ownership transfers to her at the time of his death, and then it were to transfer to you, the will is less enforceable through probate court if her will doesn't say that the house goes to you. That's
Gotcha.
what I'm
Well,
saying.
and I told him that I pretty much figured that from the bat. I was like, it doesn't work that way. You can't just give it to her. I told him, I was like, you can't just give it to her and then have it revert back to me. I was like,
Right.
it's not going to work like that. So I was like, I told my dad, I was like, let me get my friend. He's a lawyer. Let me see the specifics to it. And then there's one other thing. Since his other son and daughter are both dead, he wants me to give them some money. So
Wait, what?
Yeah. So basically, that's where the other half of the confusion kind of comes in that I'm trying to figure out. So basically, his dead daughter has 3 kids, 3 girls, and he's trying to figure out like Maddie, my stepmom, thinks that I should give them more, but my dad was like, look, give each of them $1,500. But I'm like, well, when? And then Maddie, my stepmom, pointed out, he's like, yeah, well, when Dustin inherits the house, if he has to like immediately give them money, he's gonna have to give it to him out of his own pocket. So my dad was like, well, then just do $1,000. But I was like, yeah, but if I get this house and I end up selling it, and I end up selling it for $150,000 or $200,000, like right now it's valued at like $160,000, then
don't make that difficult on yourself, Dustin. Seriously, don't. Honestly, the simpler, because your father is using a will and not using a trust, the simpler it is, the easier it will be to look at. So, in other words, if he wants his daughter's grandkid, or his daughter's kids, so his grandkids, which there's, you said 3 of them?
3 of them, yep.
Okay, so if he wants them all to get $1,500 or something like that, what should be actually written in the trust, or excuse me, in the will, should be Dustin will pay $1,500 to each kid within a time period of, let's just call it 90 days, okay? So they have 90 days to do that. That way you are not on the hook to sell that house quickly in order to pay them. You have 90 days to
Well, couldn't I word it
in
in the thing that if Dustin was ever to sell the house or profit from the house, that he would in turn pay X amount of money?
No, you could, but that gets into tricky territory. Because if you do that, the problem with that is, and I actually did, since you told me about this, so I did a little research on Texas estate law, okay? If you do that, shut up, Graham. If you do that, you'll run into complications. So especially since you're getting what appears to be the largest portion of the estate, okay? It has to be written out clearly what they get and what you get, and the reason why is because once it goes through probate court, which all wills will go through because your dad doesn't have a trust instead he has a will, you need it as simple as possible and as immediate as possible. So, in other words, if he wants each one of those kids to have $1,500, well, you take out a line of credit, whatever you need to do to give them each $1,500 right out of the gate, and then you can put this house up for sale, and then you're free and clear. The problem with doing it from the proceeds of the house is those kids, and how old are they? I'm guessing they're relatively younger, right?
They're all adults. They're all adults.
Okay, so the problem is they could technically come after you for not paying them out quick enough. So if you are making a contingent upon the sale of the house, where's your father's house? Is it in Texas or?
It's in Houston.
Okay, so I'm not saying this is what's going to happen or whatever, but say your father passes away and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'll actually live in this house for a little while. Well, then you've screwed yourself up a little bit because now you're on a timeline. And those kids, since technically they are named as recipients to this will, they can come after you for that money right away. So it's better to just have it listed out, they have these amount of dollars. That is what they are owed. And the other thing is, so he wants them to have money out of the estate, but there isn't money in the estate to actually pay them.
No, that's the confusing part about it. He didn't say out of the estate. He was just like he wants them to get something. You know what I mean? Like he wants them to get something. He doesn't have money in savings. There's not another fund for him to pull the money out of. Like the little bit like that was the other confusing part, because I asked him too. Is I was like, well, because the first thing part as well is pay for his debts and pay for his funeral. Well, He's like, well, I have insurance that pays for his funeral. But I remember that other conversation you had, and I was like, well, life insurance doesn't always want to pay out.
Right.
Zone A.
So I was like,
Well, what life
I'm the
insurance
I
do
think
they
the
have?
executor or whatever it's called is what I'm
You're the
being named
executor,
as. So
or
that
it's
means
actually
if
called
it's
the personal representative now. But yes, yeah.
right. But then if I am that and it's my responsibility to pay for both their funerals, so that means if their life insurance doesn't pay out, I have to pay for it.
What life
No, well,
insurance
their
do they
life
have?
insurance would pay out. There should be no reason, if they are dead and they didn't blow their own brains out, there should be no reason why life
Okay.
insurance doesn't pay out. So, like that, you won't have a problem with. So, in order to help you, and this is completely up to you, but in order to help you, I would need to know what the life insurance is. I would need to know what their will is currently, and then I can simplify this all because.
What the fuck?
Your father is making this slightly more difficult if there's no money in the actual estate to give those kids. Unfortunately, he can't give them anything, and he can't require you to give them anything that he doesn't already own as property. So in other words, if all he has is the house and he has no savings, no money or whatever, and you know, whatever that may be, but he wants them each to have $1,000, let's say, he cannot actually will that in his will because there isn't that money in the estate. That's the problem. So the only way that could be done is that he says that you have access to the house and you get all the proceeds from the house, and then at that point, but you have to sell the house immediately. It has to immediately be put up for sale. That's the only way he can do that. And then if the house is put up for sale, that also hems you in because maybe you don't want to put that house up for sale. Maybe what you want to do is either live there, create a rental property for income, or you want to fix it up a little bit first and then sell it. Which at that point, then are those kids really owed that much? Because say you put $5,000 into the house redoing a bathroom or something like that, and that actually nets you $200,000 except instead of the $160,000. So that's where it gets kind of complicated. It cannot be willed to anybody if it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right.
What
You know
life
what I mean?
insurance is it?
Zone B captured.
I'd have to ask him. Like that's why I wanted to talk to Gomp because I was like,
Zone advantage.
I
because his
recommend
life insurance is
Prime-
just to pay for him, to pay for his funeral, to pay for his stuff, get everything taken care of. Like that's the point of his life insurance.
Right, so the
like
death
basically
benefit
like
on that
his
is gonna be
plot,
roughly
him and his
$10,000
wife's
bucks.
plot is already paid for. Like their gravesite is already paid for.
Right.
All that's already taken care of. It's just paying for the funeral itself.
Right.
You know, any last minute debt if they owe anything, like any actual owed debt, because a lot of debt goes away when you die. Like
It does,
not
yeah.
everything,
Right.
but a lot of it goes away. But if there is any minor debt, then that would also be taken care of.
Right. So my guess is your father has an life insurance policy that basically the death benefit is going to be anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000, and that'll cover funeral costs and incidental costs, you know, whatever the case may be.
Dustin, research into Primerica. It's a good life insurance.
So I was just with
they-
them, and I quit that place real quick, bro. Way ahead of you.
Alright, cool.
I was literally just with them for my retirement, and I got out of that real fast.
So, anyways, but okay, so here's the information I'll need, Dustin. I'll need a copy of your, and bear in mind, I do not have a license to practice law in Texas, but I would need a copy of your stepmother's will, a copy of your father's will, and a copy of a life insurance policy or whatever else would be in the estate to give you a reasonable
It keeps
opinion.
lagging.
Okay. I mean, I can do that. I can get all that together. I have a scanner. I can make copies of
That's
everything.
fine. Yeah, that's
And
fine.
just my main thing is I just want to get all the wording down. Like edit the changes. Like take out the dead kid, like my dead siblings' names. There is one last thing that's going to make it even more complicated, but it's very similar to the already complication. But
Okay.
so the other like this is where it gets weird, and I'm trying to make my stepmother happy as well. That's why I'm like, okay. Remember, my dad and my stepmom are Hispanic, so how Hispanic families are. Usually,
Stupid.
what the husband
Fucking
says
grim.
goes. But
Yeah.
the will was originally like. At this point, currently, the will is being left to me and my stepmother's daughter. But my dad knows that anytime a house is left to more than one kid, that it comes down to, okay, you both have the house. who's going to take care of the taxes? Is one going to sell the other one the value, and the other one has to pay for it? Sometimes people get it and don't pay shit, and it goes to collections and gets taken away. He does not want us to have to deal with all that. That's one of the main reasons he just wants to leave me the house. But he doesn't want to leave my stepmom or my stepmom's daughter anything.
Okay.
And Madi, my stepmom, doesn't want her daughter to be left without anything. So she's kind of like a little iffy. She's agreeing with whatever needs to be done, but she even told me, like, when my dad was away on like out of the room on Christmas, I asked her, I was like, are you okay with all this? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to leave my stepsister hanging. She was like, I just want to make sure that Lulu is her name, like, also gets something out of this.
Okay,
so,
well, here's the deal, though, Dustin. Unfortunately, in this type of stuff, especially if you're the executor or the personal representative, you have to take emotional things out of it. So, did your father purchase that house originally?
Yes.
Then you got to think of it that way. Like, I'm not saying your stepmother's, but you have to kind of separate things out like that. And because, in the legal sense of the word, she has no claim to anything your father owns. She doesn't, because she would be a stepkid.
Well, here's the thing, though. When my dad dies, I'm not going to kick her the fuck out. You know what I mean? So when she dies, she gets the house. Well, technically, she didn't have to change her will to give me jack shit. She could give the house to her daughter at that point.
Well, right, but the point, I don't disagree. What I'm saying is what has to be done is when your father dies, the house, in reality, what should happen, if your father wants to make this very simple, is the house should go to you even if Monty is still alive. The house should go to you. You allow Monty to live there, and that's written in the live that Monty is allowed to live there until such time she wants to move out or she passes away, and she has to pay all of the expenses to the house.
Right.
But
well, something that my dad
it.
said about that, though, is that when you hit a certain age, taxes on a house that you own is far, 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 far less. And that if the house, that's what he was saying out here. It is like when he turned a certain age, his yearly taxes on that house and or that property went down. And so if it reverts to me, that amount would go up because I'm younger.
That makes not a lot of sense, but that's something I'm going to have to research. That is not the case in Wisconsin, but it's maybe the case in Texas. I would find that very hard to believe that all of a sudden you turn 65 and your property taxes go down. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But
or maybe because of his income,
that.
maybe because he's on Social Security. I don't know.
No, it shouldn't. Property tax is a basic rate, and every year it should increase by a mill rate, which is usually 2.3%. And in addition to yearly assessments that are done to the property, which are actually, they aren't yearly, they're biannual. That what he's saying doesn't make a lot of sense, so I would have to look into that. But again, that comes down to me having all of this information in front of me and being able to coalesce everything and give you an informed opinion, you know?
Okay. Well, so let me ask you this then. So if I get the house first when he dies, but then she's responsible and that's written in the will, what if she can't pay taxes? That still reverts back onto me. Because the house is in my name.
The house is in your name, yes. But at that point, if she can't pay taxes at that point, it gets into a legal tricky area, because at that point you could actually kick her out of the house, because if it's written in the will that she is responsible for all expenses in the house, and it would be written in the will, example, property tax, heat, light, electric, whatever, if she doesn't take care of those expenses, then she leaves. She has to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing when it comes down to wills like this. It just is, because inevitably someone's going to have butthurt feelings, and inevitably someone's going to feel screwed, but it is the way it is. If your dad wants you to have a certain thing, but because of the step-parent situation, it adds a whole nother level of complexity to this whole thing,
Okay.
And honestly, if I were your dad, I would create a living trust. Trusts are a lot easier to deal with than wills. And in a trust, it can be written out.
What is a trust difference?
A trust difference is, if he were to put the house would no longer be owned by him. The house and the property would no longer be owned by him. They would be owned by whatever your father's name is, his trust, okay? Let's just say that, all right? So when he passes away, the trust then where you would be the executor and or personal representative, you would then own the trust, which the trust then owns the property. Now, even the trust, it can be listed that Monty is able to stay here until such time as her death, but she is responsible for all expenses and everything. When it's in a trust, it's a lot easier to deal with as far as probate court is. Okay, so probate is the type of law mechanism that is used in wills and everything like that to make sure that everything is relatively equal and to make sure that the executor, i.e. yourself, is not screwing over anybody. Okay, but when things are in a trust, it still goes through probate court, but the benefit to it is when things are placed in a trust, it goes much faster through probate court, and you, as the executor, have a lot more leeway to do what you need to do to make everything work, as opposed to a will, where if you do something and all of a sudden somebody else, a beneficiary named in the will, all of a sudden they get upset about something or they feel like they want more, they have more leeway, as it were, to go after you.
Gotcha.
So a trust protects both your father's wishes and it protects you as a representative.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will call him tomorrow. I'll tell him to send me copies of his life insurance policy and what was the other thing you said? The life insurance and the policy itself.
I need what the life insurance policy is. I need a copy of his will and I need a copy of Monty's will.
Okay, I have the 2 wills already. I just need to get the life insurances. Okay.
So yeah, that's all I would need. Yep. And then I can read through everything and I can look through Texan law and then give you a better opinion.
Okay. I'll get on that. Thank you. I figured you'd be the right guy to ask, because a lot of the wording on his wills right now are just seem a little kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he probably did it himself. I mean, to be honest with you.
No. It was back. They were written in 2004 or 2006 through some guy that was an older dude that I guess was also a lawyer at the time. But there's just some things there, like just the wording aspects to it, and the fact that there's multiple like if and situations. Which the first 2 make sense. Like, you know, first, take care of the debt and the funeral. Second, if I die, leave everything to my wife. Third and fourth and fifth are the weird ones.
Right. And yeah, if the other siblings are passed away or whatever, they should no longer be involved in the will whatsoever. Not that necessarily if they were still in there it would create a problem. It's just less bullshit
right. And they're
you
also
have to
dead,
deal with.
So
right, exactly. This is what I'm saying. Right, like you know, it's just less bullshit you have to deal with, especially going through probate. So. Okay.
I'll see what he says.
All right, so just so you know, I do charge $2.25 an hour. So
Oh, so at least it's an hour.
At least you're upfront and honest about it.
Right, so I'm gonna need clan founder.
As a down payment.
Like,
right. That's my retainer.
You're all like,
About
Gompus
that.
clan founder. Oh no.
You're all getting kicked, motherfuckers.
So wait, so
Got him.
Gomp, you were there. Why did Oscar leave the chat? He said, if you guys talk about Christmas, nobody said anything, and then he left.
That's exactly
the chat.
why he left the chat. That's exactly why I left the chat. Because was it Zombie? Yeah, Zombie was like, "Hey, Oscar," but he wasn't even gonna say Merry Christmas. He was just gonna ask him a question or say something.
Wait, Zombie was in here?
Oscar was like, "Later." No, not right now. God damn it, boss! Fucking keep up.
I like how he's like, zombie?
Zombie, no!
No, I was just asking.
But yeah, no, Oscar will come back to the chat. He just left because he didn't want to deal with any of the happy holiday bullshit. And I told him, I actually talked to him earlier today. I was like, dude, you realize like nobody actually said anything. And he's like, good, fuck them. And I was like, well, I mean, you can join the fucking chat back then, you know, like.
What's up, Ty?
Well, when he joins, everybody do it.
Yeah, right.
Merry Christmas, motherfucker!
You fucking Grinch.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas,
Is
Grinch.
there a reason why he doesn't like fucking holidays?
I have no idea, to be honest.
No, I would. Yeah,
what
he just
people have
hates
to say.
everybody. Yeah.
He's the
Which,
Grinch.
I mean,
He's the
how was
Australian Grinch.
Christmas was good, man.
I mean,
Christmas was good. I got a laptop.
I am Oscar.
I mean, literally, I hate all of you except for Grim. So.
Nice.
I got a Chromebook.
Oh
Haley,
my
you still
God,
here?
boss man. I forgot the point where I cared. Jesus Christ. Oh, I got a Chromebook. My name's Boss Man. Fuck you. Talk about your Chromebook. Piece of shit.
I like how Boss was the one laughing the
Dusty.
hardest.
Are you watching the stream still?
I literally just closed it because
Mother.
I wasn't. Hold on. God damn it. Go back.
Closed it because you weren't watching, you piece of shit.
Yeah, because I'm in the. Oh wait, am I? Wait. Okay, I am.
Oh,
So I'm looking
Do I
at my
give this
companion
cunt
app.
the fucking Lorita's bone?
why
Yeah, you
do
do.
you
You give
hate
him a
me?
few bones
Why
up
do
the
I?
story.
Why do I hate you?
Every time
What?
you give him a bone, you send him. He goes to a new area, and then he'll sell new items.
I'm looking at this companion app, Dustin. I don't see myself
No one said
as
they hate anybody.
founder yet.
Except for
It's weird. Here I am giving
what's
out
his
free
face?
advice like some chode.
And do I give this bitch,
Opponent's lead has grown.
Umbrella?
Yeah, you always give her Umbrash. That'll also let her sell new things. Pretty much anytime if you have something that you can give them, give it to them. The only one you got to be careful about is the white mage chick. That's the one that can die.
Has everyone seen the new Star Wars? Can we talk about it? Or
Yes.
No, tomorrow night.
Damn it, Raw. Fuck.
My bit.
What, all right, here,
It's
here.
you.
Without
With me,
spoilers,
though.
what'd you think of it?
I thought it was really good. Well, I take back really good. I thought it was pretty good. It could have been better.
It could have been better. It could have been better.
I'm
That's all
getting
I'm gonna say.
really sick of ideas that I heard about in the late 70s, so I'll throw that out there. So, fucking hell.
I'm trying to think, do I need a better shield? Alright.
What are you
I thought
playing
it was
right now,
good.
Raw?
Dark
playing Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
You wanna watch me go through the,
Teabagging too.
through it?
I gotta
Halfway.
fucking pee. Hold on.
Jesus,
You gotta
Dustin,
pay.
no one cares. Holy fuck.
Comp. I gotta go to the bathroom, bro.
Dustin got a
Raw,
pee-pee.
did you hear?
Oh, little Justin got pee-pee. Oh,
Boss,
oh, Justin.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Going to the
Oh,
bathroom?
Justin.
What? I
Glenn,
what?
everybody?
Oscar now.
Glenn? So at my job,
I wonder why.
they gave me a gift card for Christmas. Never got a gift before. Super Sean got me a gift. That nigga. My nigga. A $25 gift card from Target. Know what I'm saying? Who wants it? Grump?
Gulp says, fuck you, yeah. Grim.
Oh my god, Dustin eats poopies. Dustin eats poopies.
Oh yeah.
when when Oscar's away, Gulp
Got him.
got him. Why do I feel like that would be your fucking, like, the clan thing, where you put, like, a little bio for the clan?
Oh, right.
If you took over.
Got him. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it
that
absolutely would. It absolutely would. I would actually, as my first act as founder, I'm going to give it over to Oscar and just see how many of you fuckers he kicks.
Everyone.
It's just like everyone's gone. Rabbit season is just Oscar.
No. The first thing he
fucking
would
would,
do
though.
would kick you.
Me?
For
Yeah.
fucking
no.
up, yeah.
Yeah, he would.
He's like, oh,
He's like,
He would
no,
kick-
I'm
no,
not
no,
going
no,
to play no more.
You know, just to kick salt in the wound, he would fucking make you a beginner, and then kick you.
Didn't we put Zon as a beginner at one point?
I think we
Yeah,
did.
I
Somebody did.
No. I actually put Magi as a beginner, and then she had a fucking panic attack, even though she grabbed all of her clan Ingrams for the fucking week. And she's like, you know what, Gomp, that wasn't fucking cool. I was like, no, it actually kind of was, and it was even funnier now because you're bitching about it. So yes, I don't regret my decision.
That's so ridiculous. That is awesome.
Bitches be crazy. Am I right, bros? What?
I mean, some can.
Hey Alexa, rap for me.
But I'm even crazier. Ganora's axe, outlaw and moving target. Phew. Right,
Pause
Connor?
there.
Oh man, I am like craving latkes right now. Fuck.
Taco?
What?
Latkes, they're the potato pancakes.
Ooh.
Potato
right.
pancake.
Those little Jewish pancakes, yeah.
Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not. I just love latkes, dude.
Dude, that's just food.
Why, Dustin? Can I not be Jewish and in this clan? You piece of shit. Fuck you, Dustin.
I just didn't know you if you were. That would be a
Fuck you,
not to my knowledge.
Fuck you, Dustin.
Just like I didn't
You
know
eat-
raw smoked weed.
You know, as a snack,
Yeah.
you eat tiny pieces of shit.
Yeah. Speaking of that, raw.
Mm,
How long have you been smoking weed?
since I was fucking 13.
You guys didn't know raw smoked weed? How did you not know raw smoked weed? I know
I
raw
didn't
smoked
know.
weed.
I don't know.
I barely play with raw, and I was like, oh yeah, raw smoked weed. Like, what the fuck are
I
you guys
know.
talking about?
I don't know. I thought he was a goody two shoes besides the alcohol.
No, that's Oscar.
No. I have to die. I've had to die down the amount of usage just because she doesn't like it.
Who's she?
Haley.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Who cares? You tell her, hey,
What about my
you
girlfriend?
met me this way,
Oh
I'ma
my
stay
God.
this
Oh,
way.
y'all have the same name as girlfriends. Oh lord.
You have no
Yeah.
idea how cringe
And it-
that is gonna get.
and they've added each other on Snapchat.
Yeah, I
oh
did.
god. Yeah.
Wait, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, they did.
Dustin, give me clan founder right now. I got some kicking.
Tell him
Sends
bump
Raw
that
an invite,
Magi.
he accepts, kicks right back.
I am. Oh, motherfucker. Wait, Raw, you're in your mid-20s, right? Raw?
Fuck no, 17.
Raw, you're 17?
Yeah, see, you didn't know that, Gump? Oh shit, you didn't know that?
Oh my god,
Oh my
I gotta get out
god,
of
the
this
sniper
chat.
is so
I gotta get out of
long.
this chat.
Yeah, his
She's
girlfriend who's
18.
18 was talking about how she's about to go drink, and I was like, man, like fucking being an Aussie or on that side of the world, legal age to drink is 18.
Dude,
Oh,
like
man.
everywhere, legal age is 18 except for the US.
Bruh,
'cause
you
we're
can
pieces of
drink
shit.
in pubs at the age of fucking 14 as
We're
long as you
pieces
are.
of shit.
If
Well,
you have
actually,
tips, you
in-
can drink in a pub there.
In my state, as long as you're with an adult, or no, I shouldn't say an adult, with a parent, you can drink at whatever age.
Yeah.
In my
same
state.
here.
Yeah.
The sniper is so long, boys.
Shut up, boss. Is Haley watching your stream right now?
I think.
Oh, you think? What, you gotta scroll through the 3 names that are watching right now, boss? Don't you fucking figure it out, Duke?
I'm not entirely sure if she's watching still or not. I know she
Figure it
was.
out!
Zone C.
Boss,
She's
where did you end up getting a job? You got a job, not recently, I shouldn't say
Yeah,
that, but
doing
like
drugs.
relatively
I-
recently, right?
I got it at an ice cream
What the
parlor.
fuck? This dude's lagging!
Yo, can you make me an ice cream, bro? I'll
Yo,
have,
what do you want?
The rum flavor one.
Rum
Whichever
flavor.
one has alcohol in it.
Rum Tum Tugger.
Oh.
Well, since it's a Christian place that's family owned, I don't think I can.
Oh yes,
do
of
it.
course. There's got to be a red wine flavor then.
Possibly, I don't know.
Ah, it's a dried crab. What the fuck?
It's a giant crab.
Hell yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of crabs there. Be careful.
Yeah, I bet you caught some.
I mean, these crabs are about to catch him here in a minute.
Nah.
All I heard is Dustin has crabs.
Yeah, he does.
Come on, come on.
Serious
Man,
case.
you should get that check, okay?
Oh, baby Dustin.
Go to
baby
bar.
Dustin eats
Guys, go to
poo-poo.
bar. I'm dead, bar.
Come on,
Fuck these
outside.
crabs, bro.
How that fucking grenade kill me? What the fuck?
Grim, are you in Destiny right now? Question mark.
Fuck is these crabs?
Yeah, we're in Banner.
Terraria? You down?
Bananas? No, I am not down.
Banana, banana, banana.
I will. You're working tomorrow, right, Grim?
I am.
When do you usually get home your time?
2, so...
So 4 p.m. my time.
4 p.m.
Dude, just shoot me a text when you get home, and I'll hop on and I'll play some Terraria with you. And because I haven't played it yet, but I'll give it a shot.
Dustin hates it.
Get ready for Game of the Century, Gomp.
Yeah, well, Dustin also really likes eating poo-poo, so I don't care.
I mean, I like 2D games. I love all 2D games.
I like 2D games. Like, look, that's what I'm saying. I'm at the play, and you're gonna have to like show me the ropes when I'm playing with you, because like when I played that game, it was literally a 2D side-scrolling Minecraft, and it was not my cup of tea. Like, I did not like just digging in the ground.
Well, I'll take you to
You
the
know
first
you love
boss, and
digging
you're
in the
gonna be
ground,
like,
as long as
"Holy
there's
shit!
shit
How are we
there."
gonna take down this fucker?" I'm like, "We're gonna need a lot of guns and a lot of bananas.
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 Shit ton of bananas. I'll tell you that."
Okay. Okay. The fuck?
Okay.
No, I'm using fucking Gnora's axe for the slug shotgun shit. This thing's actually not bad. Oh, okay.
I'm using the blasphemer.
Alexa, play the cunt song.
What? What is that?
Come on, there's a dude AFK. No, he's
Bro.
not. Get him, boss.
What?
Get him.
What? He's teabagging
And you
because he
get
didn't kill me.
Yep,
He's teabagging
yep,
me.
I saw
bro.
that. That's the dude that was
He didn't
AFK,
even
bro.
kill me
You're
and he
in
teabagged.
South Wales, yeah?
No, not even
Are you-
fucking close.
Where are you?
New Zealand.
Oh, you're from New Zealand? I thought you were Australian.
No. I
He was in Australia.
He was.
I was in Australia. I moved back home.
Weird. You don't even
Rico.
really sound like a Kiwi.
Ah, I thought I just got killed by a water dawn.
You'll be grateful for that.
No, I am grateful for that. That's what I'm saying. I hate the way Kiwi sound.
Yeah. You should hear what my normal fucking like 12-year-old to 15-year-old Kiwi accent was.
Yep, exactly.
No squeaks. I lost my squeaks.
Dude,
again.
Aaron tell fucking Wisen Rebuke.
It was
this
fucking 8 because
laggy
I'll be in class and I'll be talking,
yachts.
and they'll be like, "Logan, stop fucking talking," and I'll be like, "Wasn't me, sir."
Well, if you're 17, you're going to university next year.
Fuck you, need to an apprenticeship.
Doing what? Carpentry? What?
Fucking automotive.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
Automotive? What?
Automotive engineer.
Come change my oil.
I respect that. I built a 1932 rat rod, so I respect that.
Mean.
Alright, after this game, we're gonna go see
the
if
moment,
I
I
can
Smoke weed.
go load up,
Grim.
I'm gonna go. He's
Now, I've got a
teabagging,
question.
bro. You're bad. You're trash. Get the fuck out of here.
for your Mustangs and over
Yeah,
there
teabag
for
me,
your
'cause
for
you're
your
fucking
Mustangs. For the
Anyway,
fuel,
I'm gonna
do
go
you put
play
Budweiser in there?
whatchamacallit,
Dude, how'd you know?
Witcher.
Budweiser is worse than piss water. No.
Can teabag with you?
Yeah, because I
it?
saw a video of this Texan dude, and he's like, so since this car's American
put
like
beer.
me, I put
Well,
fucking
don't beer.
Budweiser in there, and that will
Yeah.
shoot 50 fucking bald eagles out the fucking tailpipe.
Yeah. Imagine Americans are essentially everybody from Perth. Like, that's America.
You're not wrong.
Alright, boys, I'm gonna go play some